All right. Good morning and welcome to the Employability Skill Series, where we explore the top skills employers are looking for each week. We will cover different topics with thoughts and insights from professionals in a variety of industries. I am your host, Megan Morrow, Associate Director of Career Services, Business Careers, and today I have Mike Makyubika, Associate Head Men's Basketball Coach, as my guest. And today we'll be discussing the importance of having a strong work ethic in the workplace. Mike has been a member of the Florida Southern men's basketball staff since 2015, when he came to the Mocs to continue as an assistant under head coach Mike Donnelly. He served as an assistant coach for his first 4 seasons at Southern before being elevated to the position of associate head coach in 2019. As a longtime assistant to Donnelly, he has spent nearly a decade on the sidelines with the Moccasins head coach during stints at Southern Connecticut State and Post University. He's responsible for film breakdown, practice plans, travel, and all other aspects of day-to-day operations for the Mocs. At Florida Southern, Mike has helped coach and develop 1 All-American, 9 All-Sunshine State Conference selections, and 2 SSC Player and 2 SSC Defense Player of the Year winners. In addition, the Mocs have made the NCAA tournament and won at least 20 games in each of the past 2 seasons, along with an SSC tournament championship. As a primary recruiter of Florida Southern, Mike has been instrumental in bringing in some of the most talented players in all of Division II. He has also helped the Moccasins excel in the classroom, with the team earning the NABC Team Academic Excellence Award 2 times and producing 37 Sunshine State Conference Commissioners Honor Roll selections. Mike has also helped spearhead much of the team's community service efforts, as the men's basketball team tallied nearly 300 hours of community service and outreach last year. He's also been recognized as one of the top assistant coaches in the country, earning a number 8 national ranking of the top Division II assistant coaches in the country. Good morning, Mike. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning. Thank you for that warm welcome and for reading my bio. It brought a big smile to my face. So thank you for that. And thank you for everyone who's joining us today. I appreciate you taking the time.
Awesome. Yeah, no, this is great. This is wonderful. Yeah, that was, it's a very impressive bio. So I had a hard time shaving any of it off. So
I'm glad you didn't leave anything out. And to not to put a pun on it, but it took a lot of work. Yeah, a lot of work by a lot of people, just not by myself. A lot of people have contributed to the success that we've had at Florida Southern, personal success that we had at Southern Connecticut. It just doesn't take one person. It takes a village.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, so wonderful that you're here. I know that there was a lot in that bio, but can you tell us just a little bit about yourself, like how you got into this industry and like what your career path has been like?
So I started on at Post University as a volunteer assistant, which that was 14 years ago. I'm going into my 15th year as a college basketball coach. So coming in as a volunteer, you make the most of that opportunity. It was during the day, I was a permanent substitute teacher at an alternative school. So from 7 to about 2 in the afternoon, I did that. And then I would race on over to Post University, which is in Waterbury, Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut. Grew up in Naugatuck, right next to Waterbury. And that's where I met Coach Donnelly. He gave me an awesome opportunity, and I think I made the most of it. Looking back on it, 14 years later, we're down here in Florida, and it's just what you make of the opportunity. And at a young age, I think I was maybe 25 or 26, I just would just go in there with an open mind, just wanted to learn, just wanted to coach basketball. That was my purpose. Is I always wanted to help people. So that's like my true purpose in life. And I've done it through the avenue of collegiate sports and college basketball.
Nice. And I see you all over TikTok too. So that's also helping people.
A little bit on there. That's a whole different discussion. But on the other side, once I get into my public speaking career, that's helping me out. That's why I do those every day. So for everyone who doesn't know, I do a 1-minute motivational video that I send to my friends every day. It started out as I would send a text message, and then I started shooting a video, and I would send the video to a bunch of people. It was like 10 or 12 people. And then one person would say, hey, you should put this on TikTok. And I was like, no, I don't want to put it on social media. And then more people just kept saying to me, you should put it on TikTok. You should put it on TikTok. And then I was like, I gave in. My best friend was like, you need to put it on TikTok. You need to do them every day. So I put them up there on TikTok. It's just a 1-minute motivational video. And the whole vision behind that is if I can just touch one person every day, I've done my job.
Excellent. Yeah, no, it's awesome. All right. So Mike, today we're talking about strong work ethic. So what does that really mean? And why is that important in the workplace?
Well, I think it's everything. I mean, coming from the sports world, if you don't have a strong work ethic, you'll be exposed. You will not win. You won't have success. And if you don't have success working in the sporting industry, you won't last. So work ethic in any environment, and it's just not in your career, but I think within your life, like there's different avenues. You have your personal life, you have relationships, you have your health. Those things you got to work at. It just doesn't happen. I'm constantly working. Being down here in Florida, my whole family's in Connecticut, so I have to work harder with my relationships with my family. I have to call them. I have to write them.
Yeah.
I have a nephew who's in North Carolina. I call, text. I have to stay in touch with them. So it's just not, hey, I see them all the time. It's maybe a 20-minute drive, and I'm seeing them 2 or 3 times a week. No, I'm down here in the deep South in Florida, and they come and visit from time to time, but it's just not that easy. So you have to work at it. Health. I think I was texting with someone about a week ago, and they said health is wealth. So you have to take care of yourself. If you want a strong work ethic in any other avenue, take care of yourself. You know that you only get one shot at it. There's no do-overs. This is not the dress rehearsal.
No, that's huge. And it's all interconnected too. I don't think people realize that as much, when something's off, whether it's your personal life or your health, or maybe you're not enjoying your job. I mean, it affects every part of your life. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I do agree. I really do feel that everything's connected. I'm big into the universe. The universe, sends you signs. Like if you have certain stress, go out there and go for a run. Connect with your friends. Lean on different people to relieve that stress, so you can have a strong work ethic, or just put you in a place where you can be productive in the workplace. Or for the college students, it's within your college career and doing your schoolwork on a daily basis.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Then I talk to my students all the time about making sure that they find something that they love to do, so that, when you come to work, you can give it your all. Because I can speak from, personal experience, having a job I didn't care for. And it was hard. It was hard to, come to work. It was hard to do my best. And I would find ways to, reasons I didn't feel well. I just didn't want to be there. And I know I wasn't being my best self. And so then when I found what I love, it's I'm committed. I can come to work. Like my Mondays are from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. because I teach a late class, and I don't mind it because I love it and I'm committed. And it shows, it shows in my relationships outside of work. It shows in, the quality of my work as well, that I'm committed to it. And I know that, like my superiors don't have to, be like micromanaging me and making sure I'm doing my job, because I'm so committed. And it makes a huge difference for the organization by not, wasting resources on someone who isn't, committed, therefore isn't giving their all, or, having a strong work ethic towards that job.
I think you hit it right on the head with that word love. I mean, I'm fortunate to be able to coach basketball for a living. I love basketball. Like I said in the beginning, I love working with people, and the two have just combined. So every day I love what I do. We work long hours. We work, I don't know, maybe 70, 80-hour weeks, something like that. But I love every minute of it. I love helping our guys have success on and off the floor. Love to win. That's what we're here for. We're here to win games, win championships. But you also want to see people progress and develop along that the journey. There's a whole journey when you're involved in sports, and that's in college. It's a 4-year process, but throughout the school year and throughout the season, there is that development where you see guys progress and you see guys get better and you see them have success, and that's what you're looking for. So at my college graduation, my commencement speaker was Billy Joel, and there's one quote that stood out to me. He said, "Do what you love and love what you do." And I hope that everyone on this call can find their true passion and can just do what they love. And sometimes you might have to have a job, in that career, you have to have you have bills. And I just bought a case of water. The price of water just went up. You have to pay your bills. You have to pay rent, but you can also have different avenues. Going back to the connection, you might have a hobby or you might have a side hustle where that's like your true passion, and you have your day job. We have to go and be productive. You have to take care of business. You have to get your job done. But on the side, you can be working on your hustle, which fuels that passion and fuels that love.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. Yeah. All right. So Mike, can you tell me about a time like maybe it's with one of your players or maybe one of your colleagues or someone that maybe didn't necessarily have a particularly strong work ethic, and how did that affect you guys?
Well, coming from sports, from time to time, you'll have some players who just don't know and they don't have that strong work ethic. So you have to kind of guide them along the way. And experience is probably the best teacher. You have to be there to push them. I think that's not really micromanage them, but you just have to be there to push them. I mean, people who I work with, I'm not a micromanager. So if you want to build trust and credibility, I think you have to have those conversations like, hey, like from the basketball standpoint, if we want to trust you out there on the floor, you need to do such and such things. You need to maybe put in some extra work after practice, do some extra things in the off season. You might have to get stronger. You might have to get more shots up. You might have to develop in a different area of your game. But the same thing in your work career is you want to build that trust with your coworkers, your boss, your superiors, where they trust you with the task. They trust you that you can get the job done. So I've been in situations where people just don't have a strong work ethic, and it's trying to guide them, push them along the way, teach them. I think open lines of dialogue, creating an environment where people feel comfortable, where if you're going to fail, like you will face some adversity, and that's part of the process. And I think both sides need to know that, be like, yeah, like that's a part of the learning. So don't look as any failure as and adversity as a letdown. See it as a learning process. That's just a part of the learning process.
Yeah, no, I like that. Not seeing that as a failure is a good point to make. It's not the end of the world. Like you just learn, you grow from it. Um, I know I can talk from experience too. Like I was a principal of an adjudicated youth facility before I came into higher ed, and I would have some teachers who didn't have a particularly strong work ethic, and it really hurt. It hurt us because I would go into the classroom to just kind of pop in and do an observation, and the students are playing games and they're just hanging out and they're not doing the curriculum, which is pushing. That alone was holding the students back from moving forward and going on to the next grade level and being able to pass the test and everything and being able to be promoted and on to graduation. And it was incredibly difficult. And I feel like we wasted extra time and resources that we didn't need to, because I was in there having to spend my time in there, basically like managing them versus, being a leader and supporting them. Because if I wasn't there telling them, hey, you guys have got to keep going, you got to do this, work on this problem, do these curriculum, then they wouldn't do it. And so people got let go. And I think that's another thing that we need to talk about. Like if you do not have a strong work ethic and you're not invested in, whether it's sports or whether it's school or your clubs or work, then you're going to be let go.
That's a part of it. That's a part of it. It is a cutthroat world. If you can't get the job done, they will find someone else who will. That's just the reality of it. It is it's not personal, but we all have to get a job done. Like I have to get a job done. I have responsibilities. There's a lot of people involved in our basketball program, and you have to get the job done. If you're not getting the job done, that's just the reality in any situation, in any workplace. If you're not taking care of business, someone else will.
Someone else will. Absolutely. All right. So what, if you had some advice to give to students about, if they're trying to maybe grow the skill or, kind of cultivate it, like what kind of advice would you give to people who are trying to maybe develop a stronger work ethic?
I would say action. Like action is the key. Like you just have to start. Like a lot of people want the perfect environment for certain things, where it's like, oh, well, I have to work on this project. Well, I need to go get the best markers. I got to get the best computer. I got to get the best typewriter. I don't think you guys use typewriters. Kind of aging myself, but I need like this and that. And then that's kind of like procrastination. I actually heard a quote the other day, and I wrote it down. It's the magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding. So that's like you just putting things off. Think about it, like if for the students, if you have a paper that you have to get done, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got to clean my dorm room. I got to go do my laundry. I have this hunk of clothes that I have to take to the dry cleaners. They have all this stuff that magically appears. So my advice to anyone is start, write things down, don't wait, take action. Action is it's everything. Actions speak more than words. I mean, we can sit here and talk about certain things, but it's the ones who go out there and do, those are the ones who move the needle.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. There's that, very cliche saying that, your actions speak louder than words, or I can't hear what you're saying over, your actions, because that's where the real proof is, and what your convictions are and what your intentions are. You can say everything all day long, but if it doesn't back it up, then, it's just words.
Absolutely. That's I'll use the coming from a sports realm. Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, those guys work like they work at their craft. Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul. I mean, those guys are titans. They're giants. I mean, Tom Brady, look what he did. I mean, he won a ton of championships for us up there in New England. I'm a New England Patriots fan. Hopefully, we can right the ship. And then he came down here to Tampa and won a Super Bowl down here. And it's just in the work. I mean, he has got a extreme work ethic. He's got a drive. It goes back to that. He's got a love and passion for the game. Same thing with Michael Jordan. I mean, was he the best teammate? No, but he had a love, passion, and drive to win, and he brought others along with him.
Yeah, no, it's good that you kind of brought that up, because it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be the absolute best, and also too, and I think about the workplace too. When I think about strong work ethic, it's not necessarily that you're the first one there and the last one to leave either. You have to have a good work-life balance, but it's
Absolutely.
what are you doing with the time that you're there? Are you maximizing the time? Are you 100% committed? Because that is what people see. I had a student speaker in my class talking to my first years who's very successful right now. And he was saying, it's the little things. It's the little things that get noticed. And those are the people like who go above and beyond, who definitely demonstrate that strong desire, that commitment, that ethic, that they're the ones that are going to be, asked to do additional tasks, or maybe like be promoted, or they're the ones that are going to be thought of when it comes time to recognize, or, stuff like that. And it's the same in the classroom. I tell my students this too, like, if you just come to class every day and just kind of put your head down and do your work, even if you have 100%, if you're not engaged and you're not active and you're not like actually getting through the course, like with commitment, then when it comes time for letters of recommendation, or when it comes time for, acknowledging students, they're not going to be thought of, because they didn't really put themselves in there. They just were going through the motions. And that is also in the workplace too. That's also noticed.
Oh, no question. I agree with you 100%. And I'm a big quotes guy here, and I'm throwing quotes out there left and right. It's the preparation that separates you. And if you're looking to increase or improve your work ethic, your work drive, don't think that it's all going to happen at once. Like it's small steps, baby steps to the whole process. For the students, if you're not one to really talk in class, go to class and you got to force yourself to change. You got to kind of like put yourself out there. Say, all right, this week in class, say if you have two classes, out of one of those two classes, I'm going to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, and then the next week, I'm going to ask two questions. I'm going to stay after and talk to the professor. You just have to put yourself out there. And for the students, it is a great time in your life. You're at a great institution. You have a lot of resources. I say to our guys all the time, it's awesome that you have, they're busy, but you have time where you can go to the library. You have all these programs on campus, speakers, former alums. Take advantage of this time. Go out there. Don't just spend your time in the dorms. And socializing is a big part of the whole holistic part of higher education, but also take advantage of going to the workshops. Take advantage of if there's an alum coming to talk to the business or chemistry students. go, because you just never know what you might learn or what connection you might make. Like, you just have to take that action. You have to put yourself out there. You have to cross that barrier. And it just, the small steps. Be like, you want to know, this semester, I'm going to go see 2 presentations. I'm going to go to 2 speakers. I'm going to do something different. And it just takes time to form a new habit. It takes at least 21 days. So you got to give yourself time to change. Like, change just doesn't happen overnight.
No, it's good that you say that, because we're always talking about networking and getting involved early on and starting, even as a first year, start networking, join clubs, join organizations, even if it's intramural sports or something, to be
Absolutely.
connected beyond the classroom and your roommate. But yeah,
You never know.
that,
You never know. The next Mark Zuckerberg could be walking on campus. You might make that connection playing intramural. So you never know. They say networking is one letter away from not working.
oh, I like that. No, that's really great. Yeah, just that ethics and integrity and everything. We're in a new, like, since the pandemic, when now things are more remote or hybrid, that people are working more independently. And so I think it's even more crucial now than ever that you have a strong work ethic, because you are, might be more independent. You might be, working from your home, and you don't necessarily have a boss that you have to check in with, or that's not going to see you if you're at your desk for the full 8 hours, or if you're taking a 30-minute lunch or an hour and 30-minute lunch. So I think that it's even more crucial now that we live with integrity and are committed to what we commit ourselves to 100%, so that we are, benefiting the organization at its best, because this hybrid and remote situation is something, very unique that we didn't really see a whole lot of before COVID.
Yes. So it's evolving with the times. Like, the things have changed since COVID. So evolving and changing with it is crucial. You see the emergence of AI, artificial intelligence. That's a real thing. You gotta learn it. There's a lot of different programs, a lot of different resources now that are coming up, and it is a changing world. So you have to evolve with it. It is a great time, to be honest. I really do. Some people are a little scared about the AI, and it is a little scary, the technology and the change. But gosh, what a time! What a time! And you got to think, we're all different. Some people, you might be productive in 4 hours. Some people might be productive in 8 hours. So you have to do what works for you, but it also has to work in the framework of whatever organization, employer, or wherever you're working. So, but you have to also look at what works best for me. How can I be the best? How can I be the most productive at what I'm doing? We all have different cards. My work ethic is different than yours. It just is. Purposes are different. So it's just, you have to also think of what works best for you. And then that's finding it out along the way. In college, you got to see if you can work 4 hours. You got to see if you can work 8 hours. You got to see if you can work an 80-hour work week. Find that out now. Find out, because you don't want to find out at 40, 45. It's a lot harder. Find out now how you can stretch yourself out. Don't wait, because the real world it's a lot different. It's a lot different. You have a lot more responsibilities, and life changes.
Quickly. Yeah. No, actually, I like that you say that too, because, my supervisor is always using the term bandwidth. She's like, what is your bandwidth? Mine might be different than yours, might be different than my colleagues or my teammates or the person down the hall. And so not to compare yourself to other people. Some people have a large bandwidth, some not. Like you're saying, like, some are very productive in 4, some are very productive in 8 hours. And so it's not about comparing, you should always be comparing yourself to yourself. That's like always my goal every day, is to be a better version of myself today than I was yesterday. And that, to me, drives me. And then something else you said too that I really liked was talking about writing it down. When you write it down, like, your thoughts now become goals, and those goals become actions, and action then becomes results. And I'm big on writing stuff down, because then like, whether you're achieving those goals or not. So we're getting close to running out of time, but if you just want to speak a little bit on that, on goals, maybe like writing down, like setting goals and how to achieve goals for our students.
So once again, it goes back to, like, what works best for you, and you have to figure that out along the way. For me, you hit it right in the head. Like, I'm going up against myself. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. So the way I look at it is there's a Chinese philosophy called Kaizen. It's just being 1% better every day will help the organization grow. So if I can be 1% better every day, it takes a reflection on yesterday and what happened, what I did, where can I improve in areas of my life. And then today it takes that drive to say, all right, this is where I need to be better. Just 1%. If I can be 1% better, that growth will happen within myself and within my framework of my team and everyone at Florida Southern in our organization.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're going to go ahead and close it out. I really appreciate you spending your time with us today. I mean, do you have any last, words of wisdom or last closing remarks for our students?
I will leave you guys with this. I will leave you with my favorite quote. It's from Zig Ziglar. And I appreciate all the comments. I think Dr. Reyes, I think he's from Naugatuck, Connecticut. Hopefully we can connect after this. I'd love to talk to you about Naugatuck. Love Connecticut. Love New England. It's the best. We'll definitely connect. So I'll leave you guys with this. My favorite quote from Zig Ziglar. There is no elevator to success. You must take the stairs. It's all in the work. And I will see you at the top. Put the work in every day.
Love it. I love it. Well, thank you, Coach Max, so much for being here with us. And students that are on the call, if you make sure you scan the QR code for your attendance or click the link in the chat pod. I also did, it's a rather long one that will also capture your attendance on Engage. So thank you so much for coming, everybody. Thank you, Coach Mac. Students, enjoy your break, and we will see you guys in a week. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.